Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Chikara's Podcast-A-Go-Go, your weekly dose of Chikara's brand of professional wrestling. My name is Gavin Loudspeaker. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to continue our coverage of Chikarasaurus Rex, How to Hatch a Dinosaur. This happened back in June in Philadelphia, and it was the biggest Chikara event of all time. Main event matches from top to bottom, and this one is no exception. It was a lucha de apuesta. Hair versus mask. Hallowicked taking on Tim Donst. This issue had gone back quite a while, with Tim Donst claiming he is the greatest Young Lions Cup champion of all time. And of course, Hallowicked, many consider the greatest Young Lions Cup champion of all time, certainly the first. And in this match, they settle it all. You'll notice Tim Donst a little short on top these days. Here's why.
Well, no doubt, Carson, my man, my ally, my tag team partner, Hallowicked, the Nightmare Warrior, will reign supreme in this contest. Tim Donst is losing those lovely locks tonight.
And you see Hallowicked bringing that mask out to the ring that Tim Donst tried to tear off his head just a few short weeks ago in Easton. And there's going to be a battle. Both men going alone. You not accompanying Hallowicked to the ringside. Tim Donst not accompanied by Jakob Hammermeyer. I'm sure he's at home enjoying a nice slice of blueberry pie, drinking some passion fruit iced tea, eating a goat cheese pizza.
Ugh. Well, you know, we were banned from ringside, and I personally am offended by that, but I have no doubt that Hallowicked, on his own, will be victorious and will have no problem defeating Trounsley, I say, to Carson.
You know, I will say this, it was a while ago, but Tim Donst, the last time these two had a singles match, Tim Donst was victorious. All right, granted, it was by nefarious means. That shoelace that he pulls out of his that he sneaks into the ring, he used to choke Hallowicked out in that contest, just like he did to Greg Iron, just like he did to Frightmare, just like he's done to El Generico. I'm sure that's what he's hoping to go for here tonight, but these two men are in a war.
Well, I have no doubt that head senior official Bryce Remsburg will be on the ball tonight and will be aware at all times and will put an end to such shenanigans.
The stakes in this match are higher, and this has been one of the biggest shows in Chikara history. Mantis.
Nice step up there by Hallowicked.
I know you're a Twitter machine yourself, but C-Rex, the hashtag, is trending on Twitter in the United States.
That sounds important.
It certainly does. If we can figure out a way to make that into money, I'll be a millionaire. Hallowicked up and over, comes crashing down to the floor onto Tim Donst.
Hallowicked following Tim Donst around out there on the floor. No mercy, no retreat. Hate that Tim Donst, Carson. Hate him with a passion.
Again, Tim Donst used to be such a nice kid. I used to travel up and down the roads with him, and then all of a sudden he gets this BDK nonsense in his head, and he's been quite a jerk over the last couple of years.
He's an egomaniac, for sure.
Looked like Hallowicked was going for that big giant snapmare off the top, and you see Donst. He just twisted the mask around, obscuring the vision of Hallowicked, and just scored with that STO. So proud of himself as Tim Donst after that maneuver. And you know, in a contest like this, man, this old rule system in Chikara, if you pull your opponent's mask off, that's a disqualification. I don't know if Tim, well, what's going to happen? Tim Donst could very easily just pull the mask off Hallowicked, get disqualified, and he'd get his head shaved. I don't know if his mind's in this contest. He might start getting desperate and do just that.
Well, Hallowicked won't let that happen. His mask is his identity. Much like myself, he will do anything it takes to keep that mask on his head. Oh, look at this.
And I know you...
He's got him by the mask, Carson.
You and Hallowicked have a bond unlike many other here in the Chikara locker room. I'm sure you've had this. I'm not making any insinuations there, Mantis. You guys are partners. You guys have been here in Chikara since the
day
very
one.
beginning. That's
day
right.
one, Chikara.
And you guys have a bond that cannot be broken. I'm sure you've had a conversation of what the repercussions could be if he was to lose this match.
Hallowicked is well aware of the repercussions, but there's no fear in the man's heart. There never has been.
I'm not saying fear, but Tim Donst, say what you will about him, is a very capable wrestler, a very skilled competitor in that ring. Like I said before, he's beaten some of the biggest names in all of wrestling, and I'm not saying that he's going to be victorious here, but the chances are very good. But Hallowicked is probably the greatest Young Lions Cup champion of all time. There, I said it.
First of all, Carson, anyone can defeat anyone when they bend the rules the way Tim Donst does, and I, for one, would never bend the rules, but you are right about that. Hallowicked, the greatest Young Lions Cup champion of all time, my friend.
Donst just sends Hallowicked to the outside.
Oh. Oh, what?
They go crashing into that wall out.
There you have it, Chikara fans. Hallowicked, the first Young Lions Cup champion. Tim Dunst, the baldest Young Lions Cup champion. And our new Young Lions Cup champion, Mr. Touchdown. He won the cup in Indiana. We also have some other new champs, new Campeones de Parejas. We have the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. Let's take a look at how they won those titles at Chikarasaurus Rex in Philadelphia against f.i.s.t.
But, you know, I'd like for the titles that Chikara makes respectable in wrestling to stay in Chikara. And
Sure. It's a matter of pride, I think.
you know, and Chuck Taylor and Johnny Gargano may not be the nicest guys in the world. You saw them try to interfere in that ladder match earlier.
But they're quite handsome. You have to admit. Don't be afraid.
They're no Chris Hemsworth.
You say.
Did I just say that? The Young Bucks, a great tag team, possibly one of the top tag teams in all the world.
Absolutely.
World travelers in and of themselves. Formerly being able to be seen every Thursday night.
On the telly.
On the telly.
I saw them on the telly.
I think they were
over in the UK.
I think they were on the Dumont Network.
Oh, bringing it back.
And there's the bell. We are underway. Johnny Gargano starting off with Matt Jackson. And like I said, this is our first time encounter in all of wrestling, and it's the main event here at Chikarasaurus Rex. Thanks for everyone who got us on Go Fight Live. Everyone, as you heard Gavin Loudspeaker mention,
Oh, wowee!
if you want to own this, you can go to Smart Mark Video come Monday, and it will be available for DVD, streaming, or MP4 download as Chuck Taylor goes up top, flips up and over Nick Jackson up to his feet. You know, you mentioned before how good-looking Chuck Taylor is. He's really getting in good shape lately. I think all that Philly living is doing him good.
You saying he was out of shape prior to this, Carson? Well, I'll let him know you said that.
Well, I don't want to say that he was...
I have him into my Rolodex.
He was going to go on a wrestler's diet plan. He was going to get the DDP yoga, but he got the Vin Gerard yoga instead.
Oh, that's unfortunate. No, he looks in the best shape of his life, I have to say. These Young Bucks. Oh, my. Wow.
Nice.
Masters the double team maneuvers to Carson. Masters.
Certainly with lightning fast accuracy and devastation do the Young Bucks strike. Gargano deposited on the floor outside. That's Nick Jackson there measuring Chuck Taylor for that kick to the mush. Sends him head first into the turnbuckle, does Nick Jackson. Now working over the arm of Chuck Taylor here. This is sound wrestling strategy. When it's two teams that have never wrestled each other before, but I'm sure are very familiar with each other. There's definitely a bit of a feeling out process here, but as you see the Young Bucks in control of Chuck Taylor here, focusing on the arm.
A lot of high flyers in this here contest.
Some of the best in all wrestling. Chuck Taylor himself known to fly. Gargano, a jack of all trades, if you will, the Swiss Army knife of wrestling, and I think I just coined that if he wants to use it.
Wow.
20% royalties.
I don't blame you. Big suplex.
Nicely done with the senton there. Nick Jackson. Matt Jackson, though, still holding on to Chuck Taylor. Another senton scores and connects. Bryce doing his best to get the legal man in the ring.
There you have it. Nick and Matt Jackson, Chikara's new Campeones de Parejas. We are going to see the Young Bucks at King of Trios in September. They will be teaming with Mike Bennett as Team Ring of Honor. Don't forget, we're also going to have Mr. Touchdown. He's going to be captaining the Throwbacks along with Dasher Hatfield and Matt Classic. We're also going to see Fist. We're also going to see the Spectral Envoy. We're going to see the Sendai Girls. And don't forget, we've got incredible teams like Mang the Warlord and the Barbarian coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the biggest tournament in all of pro wrestling. It's King of Trios, and it only happens once a year here in Chikara. We'll see you there in September. Go to chikarapro.com for tickets. My name's Gavin Loudspeaker. I'll see you next week on the Go-Go.